There is a marginal risk of severe weather in place for this Wednesday, July 3rd, for areas in southeast Michigan. A bit of a surprise here as the overall pattern is quite messy, but again, not really that surprising given that we have a lot of instability shown to build up ahead of a weak cold front here, which could spark off some showers and storms, some of which could be strong. So let's go ahead and break this down, but as well as our July 4th forecast, as well as our Friday forecast. All right. So diving in first and foremost, this is a day three outlook from the SPC. What that means is we don't have individual risk maps yet. So all this is a broad general outline of severe probabilities. We don't have any tornado risk, any wind risk, or any hail risk given to us yet. But an educated guess at what I'm looking at with models and stuff like that, it would be more so a damaging wind risk. The overall environment is going to be very messy. There's going to be a lot of instability though, but overall organization for hail and as well as tornadoes doesn't appear to be likely. So my guess would be probably damaging winds. We'll have a more detailed look tomorrow when SPC releases their day two, which will include your wind, your hail, and your tornadic maps. But right now, southeast Michigan, places like Port Huron, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Monroe, Adrian, all within that severe risk for Wednesday. All right. Now, we have been looking at a few other things here, but first and foremost, let's dive into some models really quickly. Meanwhile, the NAM model here, in particular, your overlap of wind shear and instability for Wednesday. So the coloration here, there's a bar graph at the bottom. So the grays, greens, and yellows are a little bit lower, and the orange, reds, purples, pinks, and aquas are more so the brighter colors. So this is going to be moving into the day tomorrow here on Wednesday. Well, here's Monday first and foremost, then here comes Tuesday. And then here comes Wednesday here. There is the risk, so to speak, and that is highlighted well by the SPC. Areas here in southeast Michigan find themselves in a greenish yellow tint, which is on this map a scale of about 1 to about 4 here. So it's on the lower end of the spectrum, but still an environment to watch here. But when you take an x-ray of the atmosphere, so to speak, there's a lot of things lacking here. I know a lot of you guys are going to look at this and go, how the heck do I read this? Basically, breaking this down, we have a lot of warm air aloft. We have weak lapse rates as a result. But we do have a lot of moisture as well. We have our, we call our PWatt or our precipitable water values over 2, as well as our dew point here. So it's shown to be about 70, 74 at sometimes. So a lot of moisture, be humid on Wednesday. So a lot of heavy rain likely, but there is some good amount of instability here. But also your wind shear is also lacking just a bit. So I look at this sounding and I think, it's a marginal setup here, and damaging winds would definitely become the primary concern, probably via downburst or perhaps microbursts as your primary concern. All right, I don't see anything tornadic with this. I don't see anything hail-wise with this either. So again, this is only one model. We only have, you have a few more models come out. The HRRR is not out. The RAP, the NAM3 is not out. The RRFS. We have a couple other models to look at before we lock anything down. But this is going to be one moist profile here. It could be humid. So my guess is the risk is going to depend on likely damaging winds via downburst or microburst. Okay. A couple other things to look at as well with the forecast for July 4th. Now, July 4th does appear to be on the wetter side of things. Uh, we talked about last night on our weekly live stream on Sunday that it's kind of like a 50-50 shot here on July 4th, but places further south in the state have the highest risk of precip or water or rain, should I say, or perhaps storms. And that's showing up on the NAM model now, where we have this coloration. There's a pretty good environment just sitting off to our south across Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois for perhaps some stronger storms as well. Right now, though, Michigan is still right there on that borderline, but still, I do think there is a pretty good shot that we get some rain there. Looking at the overall forecast for that time frame, here is Thursday, for example. We have some showers and perhaps rumbles of thunder down there toward 94 corridor, so Kalamazoo, Jackson, Detroit, and then places further to the south. But this model shows that showers and storm, the blob of rain, so to speak, moves out to our east by afternoon. So perhaps we could dry out for the afternoon. But given that there's going to be a moist, humid air mass in place, I wouldn't be shocked if we have some pop-up showers and storms throughout the state during the day on Thursday for your July 4th. So still the forecast for the 4th remains some rain. Probably further south you go, the higher your chances become. But perhaps we clear out. It shouldn't be a washout by any means at this point unless something changes, but still some pop-up storms uh, may try to show its face there during the day on Thursdays. So if you have outdoor activities, which I'm sure many of you do, just have a backup plan just in case a pop-up storm goes up or it becomes a little bit more rainy than expected. Okay. Past that, we have been tracking a system on Friday. We talked about it again last night on our weekly live stream. It's a low pressure system. We've been kind of in this northwest flow pattern. So a low system is a little bit different what we've been kind of seeing. But overall, looking at your overlap of instability and wind shear, according to many models, we call them the ensembles. This is what it says currently. The brighter colors here indicate a higher probability of that overlap of wind shear as well as instability. And it's right now, it has shifted just a bit off to our south, basically encompasses the entire state of Ohio. But notice Michigan's still in the blue here. The blue indicates probability is about 30. The further south you go here in the greens and yellows, 50%. And then into Ohio here, there's 70, 60% as well. So we're on a lower probability range for Friday's overlap. So the better environment does suggest right now to be off to our south and maybe perhaps east. But again, we're still a good ways out. This is going to bounce around a little bit. So it could bounce back up or west or east or south. We'll just have to track it at this point. But Friday would be a day to watch for potential another round of showers and storms. But that low pressure system being present could spark some severe weather concerns as well. But again, I want to highlight nothing specific. It's still too far out. It's just a time frame to watch. We're going to keep you guys updated on that. So recapping, a low chance of perhaps damaging winds on Wednesday afternoon in southeast Michigan. Your SPC is as follows. As you see on your screen, dark green areas have the marginal level 1 out of 5 risk. Light green is just general thunderstorms across much of the state, minus the western central part of the UP. And then the day on July 4th should be wetter in the morning and perhaps drying out for the afternoon. But I would suggest having a backup plan because pop-up showers and storms are probably possible at this point. During the day on Thursday. So that is your forecast, guys. That's all I got for you. I'll keep you guys updated on a daily basis here. We'll have another video coming out, I believe, later on today. So stay tuned to that. But if not, we'll have another update for you guys tomorrow morning here on YouTube. So stay tuned to that. Overall, you guys have an awesome day. Feel free to smash the like button for me. If you have not already, consider subscribing to the channel. We do uploads like this. We try to do uploads like this every single day. We may miss a day or two, but we are pretty consistent and we love what we do here. So feel free to subscribe to us if you have not done so already. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys likely tomorrow morning.